Hey guys, Alex from Board Game Co. And today we have another collection update, this time for March. I'm slowly catching up. It's only April 12th, so I'm slowly catching up from each prior month. Hope maybe April's, we'll see, will be the first week of April, we'll see. But in any case, in today's video, a collection update, I usually don't do videos on the games coming into my collection, because I find that either I like them and I want to do a different video about them, comparing, contrasting, or whatever, or they'll leave, in which case they'll show up in this video. I don't really want to cover every game twice, but maybe that will change, who knows. In the meantime, these updates are usually games leaving my collection with a short synopsis of why they're leaving my collection this month, because there's always games coming in, there's always games going out. I try to keep a nice lean collection, although lean is relative because I have 200 games or somewhere in that ballpark. In any case, starting with the easy ones, today the easiest one is we have another throwaway unlock game. Again, played it, enjoyed it. Honestly, this one was kind of okay. Again, I've never not enjoyed an unlock game. The question is how much, so that's really more of a throwaway. I've played it, they're meant to be played once. Time to move on somewhere else. From there we have A Fake Artist Goes to New York. A Fake Artist Goes to New York is a game that I've gotten and now traded for the third time. And the reason is because I keep getting it, hoping and expecting to actually play it, but party games really don't see the table with my group that much. Like, I have a few, I have like just one, I have Monikers, I don't really know, I can take a look, but I have a handful of party games. The problem is party games see play in my group so infrequently that it's very hard to actually play new party games, and to make them last, to make them, to make them stick around in the collection. So A Fake Artist Goes to New York is one that I've gotten a few times because I want to play it, but then it never actually gets played. So I'm getting rid of it again, despite the small box size, and we'll see, maybe it'll show up again another time. From there, we have Illusion. Illusion is a cute little game in which, here, let me show you over here. Basically, you have tons of cards on the back that have different levels of colors in them, and then you're supposed to try to order the cards and guess where in the order, which card has more. You pick a color, so let's say blue, and then you try to pick which of these cards has the most blue on it, which has the highest percentage. And when you flip them, it says on the back, this card has 14% blue. It's a cute little game, but it has no, well, I just take it back. For me and for my kids, my family, with people I played this with, it has no staying power. It's a game that we played 2-3 times and then kind of lost interest after that. It's a cute concept. It's a very cute concept. It's very addictive, like oh wait, this. But the actual game surrounding it is kind of just pick a color, guess which one's more, and move on. And honestly, the gameplay itself is kind of poorly done in a way in how it rewards and hurts other players. It's a light, fun little game, but not a game I feel the need or desire to play at all. From there, we actually have a game that I'm a little bit betraying, and I feel badly about this. We actually have 2 of those on this list today. So next up on the list, we have Warhammer Quest and Heroes of Terrinoth. Heroes of Terrinoth and Warhammer Quest, the reason I say I'm betraying it is because maybe less than a month ago, 3 weeks ago, I put up a video of my top 10 solo games, and I don't know, I mean, these guys were on that list, and as a result of the video, I was like, you know what, I haven't played them in a while, let me pull them out and play them. And I didn't play them, I played Heroes of Terrinoth in this case. They're both very similar games. They're designed by the same people. After Fantasy Flight lost the Warhammer license, they restarted the series with Heroes of Terrinoth, but then never expanded upon it, never added more. So they're basically the same game with minor changes. So it's like having 2 copies of Ticket to Ride Europe, Ticket to Ride, whatever. There's minor changes, but ultimately the same game. So I pulled it out, I played it, and I enjoyed it, but I kind of realized that I don't know what happened since the last few times I've played it, but the last time I played the game, I played it like 5-6 times, really enjoyed it, really got into it, enjoyed the whole sequence, and this time it was kind of like, okay. I mean, I feel bad. I just put this in my top 10 solo games. By the way, I do have a replacement for it, which maybe I'll cover in a different video. So I do have a new solo game that I'm really enjoying. But in any case, Heroes of Terrinoth is, again, I just feel bad. It was still fun. It was still good. There was nothing wrong with it. But after playing it, I was like, you know what? I don't see myself pulling this out again. It was good. It was enjoyable. But I find that there are games that are more enjoyable, more cooperative, more whatever. I think the problem is it follows a very similar gameplay path every time. It follows a very similar upgrade path every time you play this game. And that game, I don't know. I just put in my top 10 solo videos of all time, which I feel badly about now. It's still an enjoyable play, but again, I'm always fighting for the top spots. From there, we have the game on this list that's going to get me a lot of comments down below about how I did it wrong, how I'm playing this wrong, how it's horrible, how I should 100% keep it, and that is Nemos War, which is leaving my collection. But worse than that, I didn't even finish it because, I mean, this is like Lords of Middle-earth. There's always going to be one of these somewhere here and there. But Nemos War is a game that I pulled it out, I played it, I got maybe halfway through the game before I finally gave up because I just couldn't take it anymore. I despise this game. Absolutely despise it. I know I'm smiling, but whatever, it is what it is. I despise this game. I'm wondering if I played it wrong, but I don't think so, because it wasn't that the game was too hard. And I'm going to be going into this more in a video of Play This Not That, which I will cover, but it's going to cover two games, this one and another one, so if you watch that video, you know in advance which one's losing. I'll tell you that right now. But this game, and by the way, I don't usually put games in Play This Not That if I didn't finish them. But there's a reason I'll be going into it, and you'll see that in the other video. But in this case, Nemos War is a game that I understand why a lot of people like it. I played it, and I did not find it too hard. To be clear, I did not find it too hard. But I found it a game that was depressing to play and was luck-based the entire time. Now, I'm usually okay with luck-based games the entire time. I just covered this in a different video, which actually I don't know if I loaded it yet, so I covered this in a different video of how I feel about luck in games. Generally, I feel if there's going to be luck, it should be consistent on a frequent basis so you can mitigate around the consistency of how dice work out. Like if in Catan, you can rely on the fact that 7s are more common. But if you played a game like Catan and you only rolled dice once, well then that's, I mean, even though a 7 is more common, you can get screwed by a single bad dice roll. I prefer when dice rolls are at least frequent so the mitigation averages out over time. This does have that, to be fair. But I still did not enjoy it. I felt every single thing you did in this game was luck. And yes, there is luck mitigation, and yes, there is planning around that bad luck. But I will cover more the nuances of why I think I couldn't stand this game compared to why other games with luck I do like. I'm going to go into this more in the Play This Not That video. The short version for now is that I understand why someone would like this game. I despised it. I couldn't finish it. And it was one of my bigger disappointments, possibly my single biggest disappointment of 2020 so far. When I played Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth, while I did not like that and couldn't finish that one, at the same time, because that was an app-driven game and I know my own history with app-driven games, I walked into it more cautious about whether I would like it, so it wasn't so much a disappointment. In this case, Nemos War I've heard so many good things about, and it's so highly rated. This is like above an 8. This is like I think an 8.2 on Board Game Geek. That is high. So again, as usual, when I don't like a game, take my single opinion into account when you factor up that this is an 8.2 on Board Game Geek. People like this game a lot. This is a game that if you play solo games, you should try it. You should ignore the fact that I don't, like, it's one thing, even if you generally jive with my opinion, even if you generally find my opinion a good reference point, there's a difference between me saying I don't like a game that's a 7.6 and me saying I don't like a game that's an 8.2. I could not finish this game and it's an 8.2. That means if you like solo games, give this a shot. My opinion is I will never touch this game. I am unwilling to play it, and I will go more into it when I cover this in a Play This Not That, where this is going to face off against another game that also has a lot of luck, and I'm going to explain why I prefer one version of luck to the other, what it is about the game. From there we have Dawn of Peacemakers. Dawn of Peacemakers is one that I'm a little sad about. Not so sad. It looked like a cute game, looked like a great little cute, fun, appealing game. I set it up, read the rulebook, or tried to read the rulebook, and I just couldn't make my way through. I couldn't figure out, the rulebook in my opinion was so poorly done, and there's a catch to that, because I've gotten through games that have poorly done rulebooks. I've gotten through Too Many Bones, I've gotten through Mage Knight, which isn't poorly done, but just long and involved. I can force myself to struggle through a rulebook, but I only do that when the game is so lauded that I'm willing to overlook a bad rulebook. In this case, Dawn of Peacemakers is a game that I really don't hear a lot about. I don't hear any buzz, I don't hear any love for it. It's just a game that at one point I saw it and I traded for it and I looked at it and it looked really cute and appealing and it is well rated. I was like, you know what, let me get it. It looks like a great game to play either solo or with my wife. but I couldn't make my way through the rulebook, and I haven't heard enough good things about the game to balance that. Now, it's a short rulebook. The actual, it's a bit of a legacy game, so it introduces rules as you go, but the actual start of the game is maybe 8 or 9 pages, not a huge amount of content, but I couldn't figure out what was what. I thought it was very poorly written. I may be the minority in that. Maybe other people have had no issues whatsoever, but I couldn't figure out what was referring to what in the rulebook, and it wasn't a game that I'd heard enough about to force myself through that. It's not a game that I was obsessed about enough to try to find a video figuring it out. It's fairly rare that I have that combination, a rulebook I can understand and a game I'm not interested enough in, but it has happened here and there. It's maybe if I had to guess, I'd say it's like a once or twice a year occurrence where I give up on a game because the rulebook's not good enough and the game isn't interesting enough to me. Don't get me wrong, interested in the game, just not interested enough. Next on the list, this is the second game we'll be betraying, is Atlantis Rising. Atlantis Rising was just in a Play This Not That video, and in that Play This Not That video, I talked about, now keep in mind by the way, that Play This Not That video went up, I think I loaded it, I filmed it 2 weeks before I loaded it. So the gap between this video and that, it seems smaller, but it actually is a little longer. But Atlantis Rising is a game that I just put in a Play This Not That video. I picked Pandemic over Atlantis Rising, but I said Atlantis Rising will be staying in my collection. But we played it again, and it's still good. I still enjoy it. I just don't think it can, when I'm interested in a cooperative experience, and I'm interested in pulling out a co-op game, there are so many other co-ops I would rather pull out. It is a good game. I think it's a great game. If I'm ever at your gaming table and you want to play it, I will love to sit down and play it. I really do enjoy it, but I enjoy other cooperative games more. I'd rather play Spirit Island. I'd rather play Pandemic. I'd rather play Cthulhu Death May Die. I'd rather play Marvel Champions. I can keep going. There are just so many accessible cooperative experiences that I would rather play than Atlantis Rising, despite me thinking Atlantis Rising is a good game. And finally, the last game I'll leave in my collection from March is going to be Valley of the Kings. Valley of the Kings is a game that I was a little hesitant about it when I got it because the reviews are a bit mediocre, but it has a premium edition. I'm a sucker for that, and it looked interesting, and as a deck builder, it looked like a light, fun deck builder. I was kind of hoping it would be another Dale of Merchants for my collection, meaning a light, fun deck builder, not a competitor for Dominion or the Dominion spot in my collection, but something easy to pull out when I just want a quick, easy deck builder. I have no interest in this. Absolutely no interest whatsoever. We played it with 3 people. All 3 of us felt the exact same way. We felt it was completely meh. Meh is like the defining word I could use for this game. Basically, the main problem I had is that every single ability just kind of felt meh. Every ability didn't feel meaningful. Nothing I did, nothing any of the cards did, felt like it really mattered. It felt like they were just I was trying to find ways to use the abilities rather than being excited about the ways to use abilities. Meaning when I'm playing many other deck builders, I'm constantly choosing between, well, how do I want to do this turn? Do I want to do this? Do I want to spend it on that? How do I want to exercise this turn? And in Valley of the Kings, I found myself thinking, okay, well, let me see if there's a way I can utilize one of these abilities on the cards in my hand. Let me see if something actually feels fun. I was trying to force myself to find moments in the game that felt fun rather than just feeling fun. I shouldn't have to fight so hard to see the coolness of what that card does. In general, when I'm playing any game with cards, the cards should feel like they're doing things. The card should feel fun. The card should feel like you want that card. Oh, I want to add that card to my deck. Or if it's not a deck builder, I'm happy I drew this card. You should have those feelings in games. You shouldn't ever really have to look at an ability and be like, I mean, I guess I'll swap 2 cards in the pyramid, okay. I mean, it doesn't leave, okay, fine, okay, and I guess I'll put this card on top of my deck. Technically, it helps. Everything I did felt just kind of meh. It didn't feel fun. That's basically it. Those are the games I'm getting rid of in March, or from March. There's a bunch of games, as usual. Games come in, games go out. That's just the way of the world, and that will be the way it continues to go until I no longer play board games, which would be a sad, sad day. That's basically it. You can like this video down below, you can subscribe, you can comment. Let me know which of these games you've liked, which of these games you feel the same way I do. I'm always curious about your opinions. And yeah, for Nemos War as well. Nemos War, let me know. I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of, in my solo video, I got a lot of comments saying to play Nemos War, and I already own Nemos War. I just hadn't gotten around, whoops, video falling over, sorry about that. I just hadn't gotten around to playing Nemos War, unfortunately. But in this case, let me know down below, subscribe, like, and ignore the part where the camera decided to fall. Until next time, have a good one. I'm Alex from Board Game Co., and enjoy.